Hey everybody, IcyCat here with another operator profile. Today we're going to take a closer look at Montagne. His expandable shield is a literal mountain of metal to go between the attacker's bullets and the defensive team. Let's take a closer look at how to use him next. Montagne is a GIGN defensive operator. His loadout is pretty restrictive and consists of the Loadout extendable shield system. His pistols are a choice between the P9 9mm handgun or the LFP 586 revolver. Gadgets are going to be the stun grenade or smoke grenade. I'm going to recommend the stun grenade just because it's a little bit more effective to use. Smoke grenades can be viable though if you want to cover a large distance by yourself because you're a slow moving target. I find stun grenades work pretty well because you can soften up a room and go in there, and he's not going to be real accurate with his pistol, so he'll need to have the target softened up a bit if he's going to do much with it. So here's some gameplay example of what not to do when you play with Montagne. Just to be clear, I'm pretty sure that I'm mispronouncing his name, but he's the only French name in the entire game. I don't speak French. I've listened to the pronunciators on Wikipedia and I've tried to replicate it. It just doesn't come naturally to me, and I apologize. I'm sure I will get corrections in the comment section. But guys, I think you're just gonna have to live with it. It doesn't really bother me all that much. And if you guys want to know exactly how to pronounce it, please go onto Wikipedia just like I did and check out the pronunciator. Even after hearing it, it still doesn't roll off the tongue naturally for me, and I do the best I can with it. But we're gonna have to deal with me saying it how I do. Anyway, playing with a group of people I'd never played with before, and I'm trying to ping this door and tell them to open that up. And what I want them to do is breach that for me so I can go fill in the gap. Instead, they're using their time to open up holes and reinforce walls, which is completely useless. And I kept pinging the door. I'm like, guys, here, open this door. Let me go in there and fill it. And they're not doing that at all. I'm trying to get them to play ball with me here, and they're just not understanding. When you use the shield system, the first thing that's going to tend to throw people is that you have to hold the button down. When you let go of the button, he reverts back to his standard setup. And the way that you know if you're in one mode or the other is going to be if your shield is expanded, you're not going to have your pistol out. The other thing is that you can't shield bash when you have a fully expanded shield, but you can when it isn't. I do wish that didn't work that way, because there's times when you're standing in a door and there's a terrorist or something right in front of you, or maybe you want to knock a hole in your own barricade and you can't. And if you could shield bash, you could. He's not going to get a lot of points for kills, but where he is going to get points is for deflecting incoming fire. Every so often he'll get 10 points for absorbing more damage on behalf of the team. And that's the way you really want to use him. He's not meant to be a one-man tank killing machine. He's meant to be a point man that goes in, draws the fire, and allows his team to do their thing. And he can get kills, but if used properly, if used as designed, he's going to draw the fire as opposed to getting the kills. So they decided to allow him to earn points by deflecting incoming fire. And I think that that's appropriate to do. You should get points for using him in a support role, as he's more so intended. Here's how to use him properly. Deploy your shield, move up. I'm talking to the guy behind me and I'm letting him know, move off to the left and shoot over there, and he'll do so. Again, here I'm showing it from the other perspective. This time I'm Sledge. Montagne has gone and filled in the door for me there, and I'll let him keep the terrorists busy while I come around the side here and get the drop on some of them. And that's how you use him properly. Always look over the shoulder, tell your operator where you're going. I'll let him know I'm engaging from the left. Now I'll ask him, move to the left or move to the right so that I can get the shot that I need. And we just work in tandem that way. Use him doubled up with somebody. That's how to use him. He's all but invincible from the front. If he gets flanked or hit from the side, he's going to go down. But from the front, you just can't drop this guy unless you use some kind of high explosives. Send him in first. Let him scout out the area. Here I'm going to come around the corner, draw the fire, and my friend is going to come up from the side and take him out. Paired up all the time. Best way to use him. And you've got to use a mic to pull that off properly. I've had some feedback from people before saying, well, you can play the game without using the mic, and there's going to be a lot of people that don't have to. You guys, there's just no reason not to play it without a microphone. And using an operator like Montagne, you've got to coordinate and say, I'm shooting over your left shoulder. I'm shooting over your right shoulder. If you're not talking to your operator, then Montagne is going to get shot in the back as he moves around and people are firing around him. Or vice versa, he can say, okay, I'll hold position, fire over my shoulder. If you don't have that coordination going, that communication, you're not going to be able to use him as effectively. Can you use any operator in this game without a mic? Well, of course you can, but the experience of team play is richer for it. And he's one of the best examples of that because he's almost not meant to be played solo. He's almost intentionally designed to be used in tandem with somebody else. And that communication is paramount. As you can see here, his visor degrades over time, just like any other shield operator. Speaking of other shield operators, he's going to combo with them very well. Having double shields on the field of play is pretty intimidating to see when you're the other team. He'll pair well with any breacher, but especially Sledge, since he can knock multiple holes in walls with no problem over and over again. Montagne is going to be best countered by Smoke or anyone with a nitro cell. These kind of get around the fact that you're shooting at the surface in front of you, and the area of effect damage will really mess with them. So that's been our in-depth operator review for Montagne. Tomorrow we're going to take a look at the tips and tactics for the other GIGN attacker, Twitch. If you found this video useful, please consider liking and subscribing to make sure that you stay up to date on all the latest news, tips, tricks, info, and commentary for Rainbow Six Siege. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.